Mayong gabi sa tanan. Hindi Bisaya ko kasi Ilocano naman talaga ako. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat at may ibang Rabiyo amin ako. Ako po si General Hansel Maratan, ang nasasakdal dito sa pelikula na ginawa ni Certain Edith Caduaya. I am a PWD, that's why I'm invoking the rights of a PWD na I'm asking for the 20% discount sa mga questions nyo sa akin mamaya. And like a PWD, there are things that sometimes I cannot do. It's like a tide of the mind that don't indulge yourself into it. So with that, maraming salamat po. We are asking a portion of your time, a time na inayaran na ninyo na hindi na namin mababayaran. The typhoon cruising is at the outside of the building already. Marami ng rain alert and on your phone. So please be safe bago uwi nyo mamaya. Maraming salamat po.
Magandang gabi po sa ating lahat. Mensyara po kayo, totoo po kaming pulis. That's why hindi po kami sanay sa ganito. We always work behind the cameras. That is an operator. Maraming salamat po sa panahon nyo na pagpunta dito despite sa yun nga yung masamang panahon. Ako po si Colonel Mayanes, ang laging nasa likod niya, sir. Laging nasa tabi niya. We never leave. He's my brother. I never leave him behind as he is to me. We both experience the lowest part of our lives, but we stick together through thick and thin since Kadistrip. He is our class president, and he carried us, the whole class, up to our graduation. So that is how I respect him. Kaya the Real Makoy, when we went out to the academy, I always with him. I supported him at all costs. Ganun din po siya sa akin. In all my operations, I consulted him. He was with me, not physically, but he provided me all the supports. So ganun din po yung vice versa na tulungan namin. Maraming salamat po again.
And again, isang malamig na gabi at isang salamat sa mainit na pagtanggap sa amin. Thank you so much and hope na we will give justice sa mga tanong. Alam nila na itong sila lahat police, kaya ako nakaputi kasi blue sila. So, itong movie na to is made in Davao, Highness in Manila. Yung production crew is 100% Davao. We traveled from Mindanao to Visayas to Luzon to finish the movie. So, yun yung travel namin. And hopefully, wala na, na-brief ko sila eh. Wala kaangal sa tanong because we just want the truth behind the story which will be revealed on August 8th week. Sana nandun din kayo ha sa premiere night. Promise. Ayun, may pack na tayo. So, good evening and open na, Sir Chris, open na daw. Royal Rumble na. Oh.
Okay. Outside please. Once again, the teaser of the film Sa Likod ng Tsaka. Palakpakan naman.
Hindi ko ito'y komento para sa simpatya.
Mananalo Marantan is also among the accused in the 2005 shootout, which UNTV caught an exclusive video of the shooting of 3 young men in Batangas, Pasig City.
All of these facts evince a pattern to use Colonel Marantan for political persecution.
Pakaswerte ng bata, 5 minuto lang. 5 minutes na namatay na lidara ko.
It just so happens that yung mga operations niya are sensational operations and it ends up to sometimes it's bloody.
Was there satisfaction giving street justice?
Ikinuwento ko ito para sa katotohanan at justisya.
Inimita ko lahat na manood ng sining sa likod ng Chapa. Dito niyo makita sa sining ito ang tapang at sakripisyo ng inyong pulisan. Ito po ang inyong Chief, the Philippine National Police, General Nicolas Torres, nagsasabing kita-kita tayo soon sa ating pinakahintay na sining sa likod ng Chapa.
Okay! So, ang magandang hapon po. Ang question ko po para kay Miss Edith at kay Colonel Marantan. Miss Edith, ano po nag-inspire sa inyo na isulat at i-direct ang buhay ni Colonel Marantan? At Colonel, paano po kayo napapayag ni Miss Edith na i-gawing docu-film ang inyong buhay? Miss Edith, kayo po muna.
Malakas naman ang boses ko, di ba? O kailangan sabay? Kailangan sabay. What inspired me? He came into Davao on a very unfatal naman siguro kasi mainit ang temperature ng politika. Kaya kinalakal ko siya, sino ka ba? Ba't ang tapang-tapang mo? Katatapos lang na natanggal yung regional director dito dahil sa KOGC, remember? So, but what's the will, no? Hindi ko siya in-entertain kasi nagko-cover lang. Like yung nagko-cover lang. Dumating yung August 27, yung buong media industry, yung journalista na nagko-cover ng KOGC, yung inaway na kami, parang, foul na yon. October 26, tinawag ako sa Senate, yung sa media harassment. Na-stranded kami doon, kaya tinawagan ko si General Torre that time, sir, hindi kami makauwi kasi that was Katrina. Sunday pa yung next schedule namin na makauwi ng Davao. So, sabi ni sir, saan kayo magbilit? Sabi ko, naghanap kami. And finally, si Colonel Marantan, sabi niya, doon kayo, sabi ko, sir, kailangan na yung ma-experience yung bagyo. Kasi walang bagyo sa Davao, di ba? Kasi may bagyo, sabi, ma-experience lang namin kasi mahaba naman yung time. So, dinala niya kami doon, somewhere sa Chaong. The following morning, sabi niya, ate, malapit lang dyan yung Atimonan. Sabi ko, oo nga, Atimonan, marami nang pinatay doon. The instinct. Sabi ko, pwede pumunta. So may nag-guide sa amin na isang pulis, taga Lucena. Pumunta kami ng Atimonan, nakita niyo sa movie kung sino yung first na interview ko doon. Ano itong Atimonan? Kasi boundary may marker eh. Sinagot niya ako, sabi ko, hindi ba siya mamamatay tao? Like your questions. Sabi niya, hindi. Kasi pag the way she answered me, didn't answer my question, but triggered more questions. Kaya tinawagan ko si General Barrios kasi mas kilala siya. So doon ko na, that was October 27, 2024, na parang gumagawa na ako ng draft for my own documentary para sa Newsline Philippines. Hindi siya movie actually, hindi. Ito nga, sinabi ko na, while I traverse his story, his narratives, pumapasok yung may Valle Verde. Diba? Meron ka palang Paranaque. Meron ka palang Black Shark. Meron ka palang Teves. Ngayon nandito ka sa amin, meron kang KOGC. So, yun yung nag-uusap kami ni na General Barrias, si General Melan. si General Marbel, na nakita ko yung, ito pala yung tao na to. So, yung sinabi nung, siyempre tayo mga journalists, yung sinasabi natin, may ibang hindi nagsasalita sa ground na may ibang meaning, may ibang story. So yun yung direction ng story ko. Hanggang nag-November na, at first, natapos yung November hindi pa kasali yung Black Shark, yung Batangas. So, ang kapal ng 136. Sabi ko, ang kapal. So, ultimately, December, October yung sir na nila, November 2, kinausap ko siya. Sabi ko, sir, malalim ang storya mo. Mag-usap tayo. So, yun yun. Usap din. Ang alam niya, documentary lang para sa Newsline. Hindi movie. Kaya, nung nag-start na sa movie, parang feeling ko na, iba ito. Hindi ako sanay dito kasi ang alam ko, research sa libro. Research for the documentary. Ito na ginagawa niyo daily, di ba? Ito yung movie, parang, I'm not ready for this. And this amount is parang strange sa amin. Kaya sabi ko, am I ready for this? So, parang nag-backpedal, kaya kinausap ko siya, sabi ko, kaya namin itong ilabas kasi may mga regional din kami, regional cable channels din kami. So, sa amin, itatawid namin ito. Pero lumalim ng lumalim. Then, nalaman ko din na si Don Remo, si President Rex Cortez, may involvement na previously sa kanya. So, parang feeling ko na nangaagaw ba ako? Yun yung, di ba? Parang exclusive mo to. Bigla kong sumingit, di ba? Parang joiner lang ako. So, as we talked, na-explain niya, then, yun yung mahirap sagutin siya. Kasi hindi, I wasn't ready for this, to be honest. Kaya kung may pagkukulang man sa pelikula, I am humbly asking you, please forgive me. Tulad yung journalist din ako, hindi ako filmmaker before. Pero ngayon, nandito na kayo, filmmaker na rin ako. Diba? Yeah, thank you po.
Thank you. Si Colonel, yun nga po, paano po kayo napapayag na ipakita yung totoong buhay niyo po ito, hindi ba? Paano kayo napapayag na ipakita sa madla ang buhay niyo?
Hindi ko rin alam bakit ako napapayag niya. Maybe I can start with one statement like, worst things first before it gets better. You know, they sent me to Davao, katatapos namin kay Tevez, kasi I was the one who served several search warrants there with Atty. Rabino. So we were busy filing cases against Tevez, murder cases, hearings on the designated terrorists like that. Marami. At hindi lang ganun mag-file ang kaso kay Tevez. Hindi rin naman siya maliit na tao. So there were subpoenas coming from the Department of Justice and all that. And then, may shoot order para sa akin papunta sa Davao. So I resisted. But there's an order, so I must go para hindi ma-charge ng insubordination because that's another case. Pagdating namin doon, I was welcome with Task Force Davao. Nandun na si Miss Edith. You know, she has that scrutinizing eyes also, piercing eyes. Na-observe ko naman lahat yun. So I said, itong babaeng to, hindi gagawa ng matino sa akin to. And so, it did. Maraming kuwan, I cannot mention all the particulars of the story. I was sent to Davao because of Kibuloy para makatulong. Aresto si Kibuloy. Na-aresto naman namin. But it took us about 16 days. Malapit na. September 8 yung naman namin. So, and then, nakita ko naman yung sinabi naman niya, there were attempts already to come up with a memoir. I was jailed for 5 years because of that memoir. Nakasama ko naman sina Senator Bong Revilla and Senator Jingo inside jail. We started trying to come up with stories na hindi natapos. And then I got out of jail. Nakausap ko sila Don Remo and Mr. Rex Cortez and nakatapos kami ng maraming script, PowerPoints. And then, because of that, sending me to Tevez, sending me to Kibuloy, that stops the momentum of the story. So, pagdating namin doon, ay nakita ko naman yung the sincerity of Miss Edith na to entrust one story. Kasi di ba, very basic naman yung trust one story, that's your life. to a person that passionate enough, aggressive enough to bring out the best in you, the truth in you. That's why it's TBR. TBR means truth, betrayal, and redemption. It's written there. Siyang nag-conjugate those words. So I think baka kaya naman niya siguro kasi ang dami-daming pan. When she started writing it, makulit talaga siya. Makulit talaga siya. Journalist, I think that's one of the qualifications to be a journalist. Even at unholy hour, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., tawag yan. Di ba ganito yun? Sabi ko, minsan tanungin ko siya, ano ba yung oras mo dyan? Kasi baka magkaiba yung oras mo. Di ba? It's 3 a.m. here. 3 a.m. dito. Pero pasensya ka na, head to one. Kasi pag nakuha pala niya yung pick niya writing, hindi naman ano sa akin, favorable sa akin kasi I have to take rest also kasi it's another day fighting Kibulo and all that. Sabi ko, sige, isulat mo lang ng isulat. But tama yung sabi niya, intended for documentary only. Never did I yun na papunta na pala sa documentary, the movie. Hindi ako, this is the first time makaharap ko kayo po. Usapan nga namin ni Ken Mayamis kanina. Before, when we prepared for battle, we know that's going to be an armed encounter. Ito lang ang nararamdaman natin. But now we are nervous facing na kami, parang ninervous kami sa inyo. So, yun lang po sasabi.
Thank you po and